Tonight, the world is holding its breath. U.S. warships move closer to Iran. Iranian missiles are on high alert, and global leaders warn a single miscalculation could ignite a regional war. This is not history. This is happening now. In early 2026, tensions between the United States and Iran surged to levels not seen in decades, not since the 1979 revolution that ruptured diplomatic ties. What began as a dispute over Iran's nuclear program and widespread civil unrest has now become one of the most dangerous flashpoints in global geopolitics. Why US and Iran are enemies? The hostility between Washington and Tehran did not begin overnight. For more than 4 decades, the two nations have clashed over ideology, influence, and power. From the 1979 Iranian Revolution to sanctions, proxy wars, and collapsed nuclear deals, mistrust has only deepened. By 2025, diplomacy had largely failed, and military deterrence replaced dialogue. For nearly half a century, Tehran and Washington have been locked in rivalry, from the 1953 CIA-backed coup in Iran to the fall of the 2015 nuclear deal. In 2025, that rivalry boiled over. A U.S. strike on Iranian nuclear sites, dubbed Operation Midnight Hammer, destroyed key facilities in Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan, setting the stage for a broader regional conflict. Iran responded with missile attacks on U.S. bases in the Middle East, and a brief 12-day war involving Israel and U.S. forces erupted before a shaky ceasefire was brokered. As 2026 dawned, Iran was facing mass protests over economic collapse and political repression. Worldwide reports now confirm that tens of thousands have been killed or arrested in nationwide demonstrations, the deadliest unrest since the Islamic Revolution. In response to internal turmoil and regional instability, the United States sent a large naval fleet, led by the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, toward Iranian waters. President Donald Trump warned that time is running out for Iran to negotiate a nuclear deal, and threatened that the next military action would be far worse than previous strikes if Tehran refuses to comply. According to U.S. officials, military planners are even weighing precision strikes against Iranian officials if tensions continue to escalate, as the Pentagon boosts interceptor supplies in the region. President Donald Trump has taken a hardline stance. On social media and in congressional hearings, he and senior U.S. diplomats have argued that Iran's government is weaker than it has ever been, citing economic collapse, civil unrest, and the regime's repression of protesters. He maintains that U.S. military buildup is necessary to deter Tehran and protect U.S. forces and allies. Trump has framed the situation as a choice: negotiate on nuclear disarmament and human rights, or face military consequences. His administration has also imposed higher tariffs and economic sanctions against nations trading with Iran. On the Iranian side, Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi has flatly rejected any negotiations under threats and coercion, stating that there has been no recent contact with U.S. negotiators and that diplomacy can't proceed while the U.S. continues to brandish military force. Iran's government insists it has not requested talks and will only engage in negotiations based on respect and sovereign equality. It has warned that any aggression would be met with a powerful response. Meanwhile, regional actors like Turkey have urged both sides to resolve disputes incrementally, beginning with the nuclear issue to avoid a larger conflict. The fear of a full-blown regional war has alarmed global markets, world leaders, and neighboring countries. Gulf states including Saudi Arabia and Qatar have pressed for de-escalation, while human rights groups have condemned Iran's crackdown on protesters. Today, the world watches closely. Neither Washington nor Tehran shows a clear path toward compromise. Diplomacy is stalled, and military power looms large. The question remains: will cooler heads prevail, or is the Middle East on the brink of a much wider conflict?